it's done. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I've got a paper haul. We're going to show a bunch of paper items that I've acquired. I get more questions and requests on those type of videos. I know I don't show them on YouTube much at all anymore, but again, that's what we're doing today. It may be two-part video. I am not sure. I'm working on another video going into our search results and things like that on eBay as well, which will be coming up. Thanks to Bob's partially to blame or to thank for that, I guess. It's one I've been wanting to do anyway. So that one you'll be on the lookout for. It's going to show you some interesting things that show up when you're searching based on the wording you use, where you're at, and all that sort of thing too. So off we go to a paper haul. Okay, so let's start with some of the bigger paper items here and some of the more common stuff. Now, these Christmas cards like this I do fairly well with. It's cute. I'll do a zoom in like just that right there. That's going to sell it. Some crafter or something will pay me $12-15 for this. I've got about, say, I don't know, maybe a dime at most in anything in here. And for a dime, I'll take a shot. This one's pretty interesting, too. It's early. It's in a plastic sleeve, if I can get it out. And it opens up multi-ways. And they use the branches of the tree to open it up, which is really nice in all honesty. It forms the complete tree that way. I don't remember if I saw a maker on this one. Unfortunately, I don't see a maker on this one. But either way, it's a really nice 1930s or so. And that's almost like a Dresden. Art Deco, without a doubt, multi-page. I'm surprised there's not a name on this one. Oh, well, it's a nice-looking card either way you go with that one. Now, manuals, instruction sheets for pretty much anything like this I would nab up in a heartbeat, personally. I don't know if that was mixed in here or not. I'll show you that in just a second. But it's Model 1. It's Remington Rand, so it's a decent name. Probably 1930s by the mark on there. Now, you can't always read these by the marks on there, but usually that's like a union mark or something like that. Usually the last, hopefully you can see that, the last two digits, 33, that would probably be the year on this, and that's what it looks like as well. Though this is a true full-fledged fold-out, pretty much going into the entire thing, as you can see. So the fold-out part's why this one's going to be good. Maybe I should crank this up just a little bit so you can see it a little better. There we go. So it's a pretty large item here, without a doubt. All the information you need about it. It is early, so this will be something someone could frame and put on their wall if they're into this sort of thing. So I'm going to market this as like a poster instruction book. And I bet you I'll be able to sell it probably in a $20 or $30 range. I don't know where this came from. I don't remember getting this, but maybe it was mixed in there and I just didn't see it. Truck will be at Ohio Bell's open house. Now, this is probably later than it says the 1920s on there, in my opinion. It's probably like a reunion, not a reunion, like an anniversary or something. Either way, it's a real photo, so I can still probably sell this for some decent money. I'll probably put, say, $24.50, $34.50, and just see what happens on this one. Oh, I've had this one before, actually. Is this? Yeah, this one's not written in, so this is probably better than the last one. Usually these are written in. There'll be like grocery stuff in them. This is something you get at the grocery store, probably, more than likely. Detroit Stove Works, Detroit, Chicago. So it's an interesting, it's a local one, is the point on that, too. Unused like this, I'll probably put, say, $27.50. This is like a tiny miniature pocket notebook of sorts. It's original, probably 1890s through 1910-ish at the very, very latest. Again, I got just like a dime or something, and I think everything I got in here. Now, these I buy all the time, if they're these earlier ones. They have to look like a travel poster. This literally looks like a travel poster. Let's see if there's a date. Now, you can kind of tell on the car era, 30s, 40s, 50s maybe at the very latest. Yeah, probably 50s, 40s or 50s would be my guess. Now, I bet you won't find a date on most all of these you run into, but I've had so many of these, I could almost guarantee you this is probably 50s. I'm trying to see if we can find a date so I can give you a better idea. Usually it's on the bottom of an edge. Let's see. Nope, no date on it. There is a number in the plate there that looks like 43. I don't know if that looks like it's a 43, but it very well could be, I guess. Let's look on the other side. Maybe there's some other information on the bottom of this side. Gulf Oil Corporation, Rag McNally. That's about it. No date, unfortunately. I'm going to say 50s probably on these. Now, these aren't going to go for a ton of money, like 15 bucks at best. I'll use a good zoom in and show it, and I'll put travel poster style or something like that in the title. That'll be the keyword on this one. This has Miami Beach in it, so I should do okay with this one, 15 bucks. Texas should do fairly well, about the same price. Now, I've got a whole bunch from the same one. Some of them are ruined. I run into these quite often, this one. I don't know if locally around here somebody had a huge assortment of them and they're trying to blow them out to make it look like they're not so rare, but I've run into quite a few of these. I got nothing into them. I got nothing to lose. I could give these away at $8 and still make $5-6 on each one of them. I got more than I'm showing you. I've got a whole box of these, actually. I just pulled out some from areas I've been and stuff, Mississippi as being one of them. Eastern Stamps, info, same era, same everything. Alabama, again, same era, same everything. $14.50 or higher I'll probably put on each one of these. I'll look up one or two just to see. They're probably going to be all about the same price. Again, I'm going to zoom in and show the Gulf Oil and maybe the car, something unique. Maybe even I'll show this as the main image there. That might really call some attention. Is that on all of them? They're all different. So I could just show, well, not all different, I guess. Yeah, I could use that as the main image of it, actually. I think that might call a little more attention to it. Yeah, that would be my guess. They're not all quite the same. Pennsylvania, Ohio, 1949. Now, this one's a better one because it's got the governor's name. I could probably throw that out in there. If I could figure out if it says where this is at, I might put that in there, that it's on the cover. I guess those could be from the 40s just by looking at this one here. That's Indian Mound. Yeah, Miamisburg Mound. There's a bunch of Indian mounds around here in this area. Now, this one I've had many times before. I usually get about, say, 14 bucks for any of these Onyx Cave ones. Mammoth Onyx Cave, Horse Cave, Kentucky. America's Most Colorful. You can see the Stubbs car. I've been in there. I've been into this one years and years ago. Dixie Highway. Here's another one that I find around here quite often. Now, I find this one around here because it starts off through this whole area. I'm right here in the Toledo area, and this is my whole area. This is where I go. I've run into this same one maybe 15 or so times. It's a long one is why this one's popular. I don't think I can zoom back out enough to show you, but it's literally one long map going all the way down to Florida from Ohio, Michigan area. So you're at the highest point at the top and you work your way down. So this one does fairly well just because of that. If you wanted to put this on the wall, it's a long section. It covers a lot of space. Now these are very common. The Marineland, I usually get the Marineland ones whenever I run into them. Anywhere from, say, 10 to, say, 15 bucks. And this one's like a mint. The die-cut ones that are die-cut usually go for a little better. So you've got die-cut Marine Studios, World's First Oceanarium. I think we can date this to 1930s or 40s, maybe 50s. Now, some of these may have been printed 20 years before they were ran out. So they may have had these for 20 years. If there's nothing wrong with them, why trash them out? So this you can find old ones. Even right now, you can find some that are 20 years old for businesses that are still around. So same with Silver Springs. I run into Silver Springs ones fairly often. I've had this one a couple times, honestly. I think this one folds out too. Yeah, this is the fold-out version. When you've had a bunch of these, you'll figure out which ones go the best. This is a large fold-out. Again, I can't jack the camera up too much farther, but you can get the picture of how big this thing actually is. You can date it, I hope, from the images of the car on there and stuff, too. And, the pictures themselves, 30s or 40s would be what this one dates here, without a doubt. Look at the styles and the hair. Well, probably 40s. Yeah, 40s. I'm going to stick to that, because that looks like it could be as well. I've had this one here, too, like twice. This little piece of paper here, I usually get $17.50 for, or better. I think this is just after World War, yeah, 1946. So this is a whole new thing. This is the first, I think, recruiter pamphlet that was issued right after World War II ended. So this was basically people coming in to replace those coming back home after the war, because obviously we occupied. So these would be occupational era, and most of this stuff does extremely well. There's not much recruiting paperwork of any kind. I think I've had 1 or 2 hauls that I've showed at least a couple recruiting items that go for some insane amounts of money. They just don't show up. Because this is not World War II, but it's as close as to the end of it as you can imagine. This was probably pressed possibly before the war ended, in all honesty. So be a guardian of victory, join the regular army now. It's got the pay grades and all that kind of stuff in here too. Now let's move on to some cards and some paper, some small papers. Let me get this one out of the way. Now, I've showed many different cards like this. Any of these cards for antifreeze or, geez, anything, flowers, anything you see probably that would date back to the 50s or before like this, I would grab. Anything. I don't care if it's for flowers, for a fly swatter. If it's a tag like this, usually you can get $8-10 for it no matter what. Minimum. I'm just giving you bare bones minimum. I've sold some like this that go way back for like string and yarn and all kinds of things for 15, 20, 25, 30, even up to $60 for some of these, like this specific ones. Usually the ones that sell the best are like oddball names you've maybe never heard of, like not a national, like a Prestone company, but a small one, like a family name. I sell a ton of items, and I do mean a ton. Maybe 10% of everything I sell these days is strictly to somebody because of a last name in the item. Of the vintage, of course, and I'm not talking about new. But now, religious cards. A lot of people don't mess with the religious cards, but in all honesty, if it's early, like this one, this is a Victorian without a doubt. You can feel the difference. It has some embossing on it. Obviously, a religious statement from the Bible. It's nothing on the back, nothing special. But cards like this, I get $12-15 for all day long, as long as they're true Victorian. Now, don't go trying to get that kind of money out of like a 1920s or anything newer than that. It just isn't going to happen. Now, this one's not in the best condition. I probably will touch those color spots up. Let me zoom down here where we can get a better view of it, so I don't have to zoom around. But Iris is just a lovely image here. Now, I may spray this one because it's got a little bit of solarization on it. If I spray this one, it'll get rid of any haze, and it should have everything coming back out. You'll have to fill in any of the gaps or spots you want before you do that. A little brown pencil and then yellow over it will recreate the gold tone, in all honesty, if you didn't know that. But something like this one here, once I've, touched it up just a hair, I can probably get $40 or $50 for this card here. It looks like nothing to somebody else. It's just an old Christmas card. Nothing on the back. It's been in some album or something at some point, it looks like. Now, here's a really nice, even with a little damage up there. This is a beautiful, just a spectacular religious card. And this is the sort of thing that I sell extremely well. Now, I know it has a little corner issues there and there. You could technically just chop off all the white with a paper cutter. I'm not going to do that because this is the way it was made. But there's nothing wrong with chopping it down. You just have to list that the card has been trimmed very obviously or something like that. Again, you don't need to do that. You're going to center in on this and do a zoom in. I'm telling you, this card's going to pop. This is the kind of card I get $14 for. Bare bones minimum. I usually list them for 14 to say 24. This isn't advertising. There's nothing really special about this one. This one came in a 4-card set. It's probably worth $2 or $3, so it's going to be a lot. Now, these were interesting, and unfortunately, somebody has chopped off Eastside Cycle Company. Unfortunately, these would have been worth some good, major money if they weren't chopped down. Somebody has cut off the bottom of it, or maybe the top. Yeah, I'm not really sure where, but you can tell that there was a word right there. So somebody has trimmed these to get rid of the advertisements so they can just hang these up as artwork, because they're all bicycle related. Had these not been trimmed, I could see me getting $200 a card for each one of these cards here. So I'm not blocking the light, though. Yeah, I'm trying to get the light in there as best as I can. So even damage, though, I'll probably get $10 or $15, somewhere in that range on their own. I may put them up as a set of 3 for $75. I don't know. Maybe Eastside Cycle is in New York or some majorly known one. It's a shame they're cut down, unfortunately. These probably date to 1890s, 1910-ish, at the very, 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 very latest, I would say. And I say that because of this bike here is a later style. These didn't come into, well, the handlebar, probably these date to 1870s, the bike itself, but I'm guessing this is just older than that. Even damaged like this, I'm going to still list these. I guarantee you I'll still sell them. What else do I got in here? These I do fairly well. It's a die-cut Japanese geisha. And I'm not sure the name of that. I'm sure somebody in here will know, but it's a little Christmas card. Nothing special. There's nothing on the back or anything. You could look up who the quote is from, the saying on here, and that might help you too. Boy, I'm trying to get the light in here a little better so we're not suffering. Let's see if that works a little better. Something like this one here might get me 25 bucks. Now, these are actual lithographic cards. These came from a printer's collection. It's a shame they're so small, but on average, something like this, I'll get 12, 15 bucks for a piece. You'll do a zoom in, and you'll list them as a true, actual engraved image. So these were printed off the actual press. I may list a couple together or something, but the birds, the ducks right there, those should do fairly well. It's a cute image, in all honesty. I'm not even sure what kind of flower, which way that one goes. I'm not sure. Probably like that because of the way those are drooping, but there's a fox out in the hunt. They're small again. These are like advertisement cards. This one's not engraved. This one is engraved. You can feel it on this one. So on these like engraved cards like this, there's nothing really on the back of them. In fact, it looks like well, nope, they're not the same. I'll get 8 bucks, 10 bucks a piece. I usually put them in a lot, say 5 of them, and I'll get, say, 25 or so. This is definitely engraved. It almost looks like Californian, maybe a mission, but I doubt it. It doesn't say on the back. Do these go together? These might go together. It almost looks like they do. Let me back up so you can see them a little better. Again, there's nothing on the back, so it's an advertising number on the one. There's some staining on it. I'm guessing this came out of a sample book of some sorts. I'll probably put these together. It does look like they go together. So this will be an engraved 1870s. It's got insect on it. So the insect beetle will be definitely listed on it. That'll be a key selling factor. In fact, that might be the biggest point on this one here. On this set here, I'll probably put, say, $24.50 because it's engraved. I'll probably sell it for 15 to 17. Now this one here, I think either I've had one or this got mixed up in here. This is a blotter. You can tell by the color on the back and the feel of it. So when you're writing with a fountain pen of some sort, sometimes you get like spills or a ball of ink. If you put this down there, it would soak it up really quickly, and it soaks up into here, so it would stop it from smearing. It would dry much quicker as well. That's what a blotter is. Now these, I love these little things because they're small, they're easy to mail, and this one was from California, Barstow, California. It's a mileage card from Hillcrest Hotels. This one should do extremely well. The phone number is 9851, that's it. So it's earlier, 1950s by the cars in there. Believe it or not, something like this you get $57.50 for, and that's probably what I'll put on that one. Now, is this one celluloid? This is celluloid right here. This is a piece of celluloid. Brown and Sharp Manufacturing, tool. It's a tool company, so even better yet. Yeah, it's definitely celluloid. You can feel it. But it's a decimal equivalent of parts of an inch. So this is a tool. It's an advertisement. It's celluloid. It's got a lot of stuff going for this. It's probably 1920s or 30s. I can't go wrong with something like that, in all honesty. This is just some kind of religious souvenir for an event. I'll look up the city and see if these people were fairly well known. Sometimes these sorts of things can go for some good money. Watchword, I don't know what that means. I'll have to look into this one though. But this type of material I usually get 15, 20 bucks for. Here's a few tickets. I run into tickets quite often. Let me zoom down on these. Even if they're stubs, like this is a decent little lot right here. Ferry ticket. This is SP Company Ferry, Oakland Pier, San Francisco. It's a used ticket. Los Angeles identification. Pacific Greyhound Lines. Pacific Greyhound Lines, and a Pullman. So these 4 tickets, I know they may not look like much, but I'll put 15, 20 bucks, maybe even 27.50. I'll have to look up this one here. This is probably going to be the deciding factor, and then we'll go from there on that one. Now, obviously, I've bagged most of these, so nothing happens to them. Now, this one's undamaged. Now, this one's die cut, too, in the background. It's like a lace, paper lace. In the middle down here, it says, "With love." It's a nice little one. It's got the little, I don't know what you want to call that, accordion style. These can be repaired, believe it or not. I've seen some fabulous jobs of some of those repaired. These, on average, though, I only get 15 bucks at best. 12, 15 bucks on those. Here's a few other cards. Now, any of this style, this is circa 1890s, 1910. Sample picture card, home trade soap wrappers. Gowers and Stover. Now, that's the name of the company. That's what you want to list in the title on something like this. Set number 22, given away for wrappers. So you'd save the soap wrappers, and you could send away for big poster versions of stuff like this as well. Now, these kinds of things right here, because it's a Gowers and Stover, probably 15 to 25 bucks. Now, this one's just a blank. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing on the back, unfortunately. But it's like a Mediterranean scene, Mediterranean boat, moonlit night, Bowie, nautical, sea, something like that. That'll sell this, 10, 15 bucks. Wilson Spice Company. Now, this is a Christmas card, I would honestly say. Nothing on the back. I would list this as a Christmas card. Compliments of the season. Maybe it doesn't show on this light, but it's actually a fairly nice looking card. Should be able to see a little better there. It's got some silvering to it. Cat Christmas advertising. Lion Coffee is is what they made the most of. Wilson Spice. It's a Toledo card. I run into these all the time around here. Most any early 19th century, even 1920s house or older, if it's a estate sale or a sale or stuff came from it, almost every house in town that's that old comes up with stuff like this. No exaggeration, in all honesty. Here's an interesting one. Bortree Manufacturing. They won award 1884, so this is after 1884, probably pre-1890-ish. So probably 1880s would be when this one would date. Sledding. It's got like all seasons shown, would be my guess. Looks like all the seasons you would want are shown in the same image here. Probably, I don't know, fall, I don't know, but that's winter basically. You've got spring, summer maybe. Interesting card. Something like this again, 15 bare bones minimum. Probably I'll list it for $27.30, somewhere in that way, $34.50. Now these I always snab up to. I've had dozens and dozens of these. It's just like stitchery on a piece of cardboard is basically all it is, as you can see. These I get 15 bucks or average for. Let's pull out these, because these are really cute. Now, these are anthropomorphic cats, and now they all go to a same set, but I honestly might just list these separately for $34.50 a card. They're really thick cards, too. Nothing on the back. Probably a set of, yeah, it's a set of 4. I don't know. If I list these all together, I'm going to want at least 75 bucks for them. These are really adorable. Somebody could use these as a Christmas card right this second. You can scan these. You would own the copyrights to this. Well, not own it, but you'd be free to use it. And you'd have the best version of it having the originals. With digital software, you can easily fix any coloration issues. But these are excellent ones here. This one especially, I could see me actually selling this one for 40 bucks on its own. So I could conceivably get $180 to $200 for these 4 cards here because of the cuteness. They're 1870s without a doubt, 1880s. They're anthropomorphic. They're cats, kittens, fishing, lily pads, pond, boat. I mean, it's really a nice set right there without a doubt. Now here's some coffee cards. Now this is usually what I run into are these style here with the coffee backs on them. And they usually have different countries. Now these ones were totally different. and there's nothing on the back. I'm almost wondering if these are from a poster that somebody cut down. Either way, I'll be able to sell these for some good money. On average, these types of cards here, I usually get, say, 15 to, say, 35, depending on the country. The German one sells for around 25 or 30 sometimes. The Chinese one on here goes for, say, 40 if you're lucky on a good day. Really nice one here. Now, this one's interesting. This is the style of card you usually run into. If this was an Alaskan Indian, as they state, it would have done fairly well on its own, too. This one, again, I might get 40 or 50 bucks for. Canada. They must have had 50 of these as well. Gypsy was one that they used. I don't know why they called it Gypsy, but it would probably be more like Hungarian. And when they came over here, they were called Gypsies. Some of my mom's family would be considered Romanian, Hungarian, Gypsy side there too. This one's probably the best one out of these. Western Cowboy. I could conceivably get 40 to 50 bucks for this piece of paper there. Switzerland here, and Brazil as well. So all these cards, I'm banking on at least 15 bucks a piece. Again, this is bought at a huge, massive assortment. I got about a nickel to 10 cents a piece in every single piece of paper in here.